Okay, hopefully I've got the camera in a good enough position that everybody's going to be able to see this. Um, this is the tutorial for the double zipper for the NCW. You can see I've gone ahead and done my zipper pocket basically the way the instructions call for, only with the lining the same size as the exterior. So if you prepare it up until that point and then follow this. Basically the way I wrapped my head around it was in the original instructions for the regular installation of the single zipper, they say to lay the lining out right side up and then place the zipper on it and then put the exterior wrong side up on top of the zipper, sandwiching the zipper in between. So basically what I do is I fold this up in between, I lay my lining out, and then I lay my zipper out, centering it about, and then I take my exterior here and sandwich the zipper. I don't pin a lot of stuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and sew this. I just like to slide my zipper pull out of the way as I'm getting close to it. And you basically have your pocket inside there, and then you have to flip it. Sorry, my cat's coming to visit. Flip it and lay it flat. I like to top stitch this side of the zipper before I attach the other side of the zipper, just because that makes it a little easier. So now you do basically the same thing as the instructions say. You flip your lining so that you can place your zipper on the right side of the lining. Making sure that you have it nice and centered. And then you put your exterior on top, sandwiching it in between. and sew that in. Now you need to flip this so that you can top stitch the other side of your zipper. Make sure that you have your lining against both sides of your zipper. And how you do this is personal preference. It is a little tricky because you don't have a very big hole to work with. I probably do it a little differently every time. But just do a little bit at a time and wrestle the stuff underneath out of the way. I know this is hard to see on the camera, but just make sure that you don't have anything coming under here, even if it's only for a couple inches, and then you can readjust to do the next inch or so. Then, I need to clip one more thread. So then you have this pocket with your lining inside and your exterior outside. You want to make sure that your zippers are mostly open. I try and keep them just a little bit back from the edge so that I don't come anywhere near them when I'm sewing down the sides. So then you want to flip it back. But when you flip it back, you just want to grab one side of the lining and one side of the exterior. And when you flip it back, you want to have it so that you've got your little tube back. But when you make the tube, you want to have both sides of your exterior together and both sides of your lining together. And what you're going to do is on one side you're going to sew all the way around. I'm hoping this is on the camera. You're going to sew all the way around, but you're going to skip over top of the zippers. You're going to jump over top not sew these parts, because if you sew these parts you won't be able to push your tabs out once the pocket is created to clip them off and then sew them in neatly. Then when you sew around this side, you want to sew all the way down your exterior and just maybe an inch or so on from the top and bottom of your lining, and leave a bit on your lining open, you know, quite a bit in the center, just so the bottom and top inch. And again, skip over the zippers so that you have a little hole there to push the tabs out. That little hole will get sewn up when you sew up your sides, when you put the main body of the wallet together. So don't worry about it being a little bit of a hole there. It's not a big deal. So we'll sew down the sides of these. And when I sew my sides, skip over my zipper, I try and get the zipper tabs sort of folded in half, so that the lining and the exterior are even, not so that they're, you know, off like this. You want them so that they're very even. If I can show that on the camera, actually. So we'll show that again. You want them so that they're, the zipper tab is folded in half, not back like this or back like this, because then the lining and the exterior will be off quite a bit. So try and get them so that they're even. And then when you sew around, you skip over this part. I'm actually going to switch back to my other foot for that. And just remember, as you're getting over to the other zipper, to kind of fold that tab in half as well, so that it remains even too. And then skip over your zipper. So there you've got the whole thing sewn around, and then, like I said, we'll sew about an inch or so on the lining here, skip over the zipper, sew all the way around the exterior, and then just another inch on the other side of the lining. and this is where we flip it. So we've got that, and we've got our opening in the one side of the lining. Now when you flip it, you flip the lining and you grab the exterior and shove it in there too. And you turn it so that your pocket is finished but inside out. And then see, you've got that's the outside of my pocket in there. So you can either hand sew this closed, or what I do is I kind of shove my inside pocket out of the way and fold this in, and I just run the sewing machine up the side because it's in the lining and you're never going to see it. I'll tie that off later, but then you just flip it right side out. This is why you have to make sure that your zippers are open. And then you use your favorite tool to shove your little zipper tabs out of those holes. I like a small crochet hook or a pair of tweezers, and you shove your little zipper tabs out of those holes and maybe give it a little press before you throw it in, and you're all done. I hope that helped.